Rich, are you doing a triathlon style here?
Well, yeah, just swimming.
Okay.
I'm trying to swim as efficiently as I can swim.
Okay.
There isn't a lot of difference in style.
So with the wetsuit, you float more,
Uh-huh.
and I use my legs less. Probably I use my legs at all with the wetsuit.
Where is he? This is Rich here. So that's Rich there. So this is your first one. You left before I was ready for you to leave. You're about halfway down the first lap. This was the easier effort swimming. And on the easier effort swimming, you're still pressing too early instead of getting there. You're getting there. I like to see the hand get in pretty clean and slide forward and not press. Watch how quickly that arm's going to go down. So see where it's at?
Yeah.
When the other arm goes in the water, it should still be out there at the easier speeds. At the higher speeds, it's going to be back a little bit further. But if you're already this far back when you're swimming easy, it doesn't get better when we go longer, when we go faster. So this is good. I don't mind the straight arm recovery because of the wetsuit swimming and stuff when you do it, but you can't let this arm take off so early. So your arms are back, but they're not close enough to your body. And your back's actually arched the other way. So that's going to make it a little bit hard to get around. But watch what your arms do when you flip. You see where they're at? Way out here and way out there. Instead of just doing that, shoot them off the legs. So breath. Here's the breath. And the gap between your arm and your head is too great. I want to try to close that gap down. It just visually looks to me like you're putting a little bit too much energy into downward instead of into forward.
When you told him to close his gap, what would you adjust? The head position?
So
or
it's
the,
kind of
or
a it's kind of a combination of the two. So I just want to keep them both closer together.
Okay.
And so what you'll tend to do is press and lift because you're trying to get to air.
Okay.
So if you just keep them close together, they're not going to be touching, because if they're touching, you'll tend to bend forward and cross a lot. So I wanted a small gap, but if you can be getting the breath here instead of getting it here,
Yeah.
you know, where you're pressing with it. Nice push-off. Moment of greatness. You breathed on the very first stroke though, okay? So that sets the tone for bad swimming. When you breathe right away, if you can just come out, feel like you're getting pulled forward on the rope out of the top of your head and get in a couple of clean strokes, it just kind of sets us up. Rotation of the body looks really nice, back and forth. I really like that. Really good, but pretty equal on both sides. The head and the hips, it all kind of goes as a unit. That looks nice.
So,
Why is my
so
left arm bent, my right arm's not? Is that a problem or not?
Not really.
Okay.
Mike does the same thing.
Wow, you're going crooked.
Yeah.
That was the thing, is you started here and you just started drifting over there.
Okay.
So I'm not exactly sure what was going, that making you go so diagonal. What happened? So that's what it is. When you get the breath, you're going to get the breath. So that's hooking you to one side.
When you said his push off was good, what did you think was good about it? The arm position?
Yeah, he was, he had his arms in a streamline and his whole body in a straight line. It wasn't like this. His head wasn't up, his back wasn't arched, his legs weren't up.
And I was really bad at that a few years ago. Here's what I found out. If you just push off the right way, you go out further.
Right.
You know,
So it's
and
right-
It's no work.
It's right about here. It's just when you're about to go to get the breath. Your head is too far that way of your hips. Okay, so it's like you just before you go to get the breath, you start doing that,
I start to plan the breath.
and then you get the breath. So what that tells me, when you do a triathlon race, you should always start on the right side of the field. Because you're going to be able to look at them, and you're going to be, the field's going to kind of hold you straight. Because if you start on the left side of the field, you're going to go to Catalina when everyone else is going somewhere else, because you're just going to hook, and then you're going to have to correct, and you're going to hook and correct and hook and correct. Whereas if you're just breathing towards everyone, you'll just kind of stay on track where you need to do. So almost regardless of the direction of the course, you pretty much should start all the way to the right side. I start all the way to the left side at most races because I breathe to my right, so I like to look at the field.
I do that actually until I can hook onto somebody.
Let's see what's going on in the water. Well, why did we go back to the front?
Weren't those the last two? Last three?
Look at all the other video. It can't be. Where did all that other footage go? Set record. That's bizarre. It was saying record. I can't understand.